Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And I just got back from vacation last night. And so today I wanted to do a little video sharing with you guys all of the books that I read while I was on vacation. I completed 8 books while I was on vacation. I cannot believe it. I honestly, I cannot believe it. I finished a book on the way down there. I finished a couple books on the way back. But in total, I finished 8 books on vacation. We were gone 10 days. I will say this, I listened to every single one of them on audio. So I listened to all of them on Audible. One of them I started as a physical copy book and then I finished it on Audible because I just was having such a hard time getting through the physical copy book. But we'll get to that in just a second. So what I'm going to do today in the video is that I'm just going to go through and I'm going to share with you guys like every book that I read on vacation. I'll just give a couple notes on what I thought about the book. And then if you guys want me to do on any of the books, if you want me to do a longer review or a longer reaction to it, let me know in the comment section below and I will do a specific reaction or review just to that book. There's a couple on here already that I have listed that I want to do reviews or reactions to. But I wanted to start off with just letting you guys know everything that I'd read on vacation. So let's get into it, starting with the book that I finished while we were on our way down there. And that was Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I have to go in here and see what I gave each of these books. I ended up giving it 5 stars. So I had recently read, I think it's called All the Sinners or All Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I'm a huge new fan of S.A. Cosby. I know he just had a book that just came out. I think it's called King of Ashes. I already have that on Audible. That will be one of my next reads coming up very soon. But I am loving every single book of his that I read. All of his books are fantastically well-crafted thrillers. But at the same time, they delve into very, very important topics. Racial diversity, racism, diversity in general. All of the books are really, really, I think, important and are having important discussions within the context of being a thriller as well. A fantastically crafted thriller. So I loved Razor Blade Tears. I ended up giving it 5 stars. Then I started The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. So it was another thriller. I had actually saved one of my credits on Audible for this book. So let me kind of explain to you how I do my credits. I think I've explained this on my vlog, but I don't think over here I've done it. So I get 2 credits a month on Audible. I will also say that I have over 540 books in my library on Audible because whenever there is a sale on Audible, I buy like 10 or 15 books. I buy books all the time. So a credit equals about $11.50 or almost $12. So if a book is anywhere, let's say between like, if it's below, if it's $14 or $15 and below, I'll just go in and buy the book on Audible, which you can do. You can just like go in and buy the book. If it's over $15, I usually save a credit for that because a credit, then I'm not wasting a credit. This will make sense to people that use Audible a lot, but if you don't, then it probably won't make sense to you. So I think The Ghostwriter, which was heavily marketed and people were just talking nonstop about this book. It's about a girl that, it's interesting because the book takes place in California, but it felt like it took place in England to me when I was listening to it. And it's about a woman and she's a ghostwriter and her dad is a very famous author. And so she gets hired to be the ghostwriter on a book that she finds out is going to be a memoir of his life. And that it's also about him having memory issues. Like, anyway, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's also about the fact that there was speculation that he possibly killed his brother and sister. So it's all that woven together. I was really, really excited about this book. I think it was $23 on Audible. That's why I saved a credit for it. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I was not impressed with this book at all. And I gave it 3 stars because it was so fantastically written. I had it figured out way before the ending of it. I just was not into it at all. Stacy from the vlog group. Hey Stacy, how are you? She recommends cozy mysteries to me all the time. And she recommended to me Aloha Alibi by Jasmine Webb. And it is book 1 in the Charlotte Gibson mystery series. And it's about a woman that moves back to Hawaii because she's gotten herself in some trouble, I believe, in Seattle. She works for a jewelry store and it gets robbed. And then these guys are like trying to kill her. So she moves back to Hawaii. And she's living with her mom and she befriends these 2 older women. It's very much like a kind of a dumbed down version of the Misfortune series by Jenna DeLeon. I'm almost I'm very interested almost like who copied the idea from who, because they are so similar. And in fact, my friend Nikki and my friend Mel were both reading it at the same time. Nikki did not love it. And she said that she had just read the first book in the Misfortune series, and she said she liked it much better. It's hard to read both series and not compare them because they are so similar. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Cozy mystery series, once you read one, they're kind of all alike. But I really liked Aloha Alibi. Now, this year I am trying to be committed to reading a lot more LGBTQI plus fiction. It's not a genre that I in my youth, I read more, but I haven't in the last couple years. So like every month I'm trying to pick a book. And last month I think was Lie With Me by Philippe Besson, which is he's a French author. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I was talking to somebody that I met on vacation, and they said that most of his work is semi-autobiographical. So Jordy from Jordy's Book Club, who I love a lot of his recommendations, he recommended this thriller called Bathhouse. And it's by P.J. Vernon. I ended up giving it, I think, like 2 stars, maybe 3 stars. Let's see. I gave it 3 stars. So it's about this guy, and he and his partner, like they say they're married, but they're not married. They wear rings. And the one guy comes from a very wealthy family, and his family doesn't want him dating this other guy. And the other guy is like, decides to cheat on him by going to like a bathhouse. And so it sets off this course of action of like the person that he like hooks up with, that he ends up trying to like get, because the guy tries to kill him, and then the guy's like coming after him, and it's like this thriller, but it's really about all these secrets that they're keeping from each other. This is another book for me that I had figured out. I mean, literally, I have to tell you, I had it figured out. Well, I had kind of 2 different things figured out, and then they kind of both went together at the end. I don't love a mystery that if the characters are not that interesting to me, if the characters are super interesting, I don't care if I figure out a mystery early enough. But if the mystery is so easy to solve and the characters are not interesting, I'm bored with it. The writing was pretty good, which is why I gave it 3 stars. I thought the characters were rather vapid and superficial. I just really wasn't that interested in it. I liked how it kind of like all tied up at the end, which is probably why I pushed it from 2 stars to 3 stars. But I can get in more of that if you guys want to hear more about it. Then another book I think that Jordy recommended to me was called Retreat by Kristen Ritter, Krysten, and I ended up giving this 5 stars. It's about a woman that's a con artist, and she goes to, it was fun to read in Mexico because it takes place in the Golden Coast of Mexico, in Punta Mita. And so it's about this woman that goes there as like an con artist, and like selling fake art and stuff like that. And she ends up kind of like taking the identity of a very rich person in Punta Mita. And I thought it was fantastically done. I mean, it's like a con artist being conned by a con artist. It's like there's so many cons going on, you can't figure it out. I'm honestly surprised this book is not being spoken about more. I loved it. I read a lot of thrillers to the point where I have to kind of take breaks sometimes. And I thought it was fantastically done. I gave it 5 stars. I would love to read more about by her, Kristen Ritter. And I also think that the book at the end could also have a sequel to it. I thought it was fantastically done. Retreat by Kristen Ritter. Then I read Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. For those of you that have watched me for a while, you know I'm a huge Taylor Jenkins Reid fan. So Taylor Jenkins Reid takes kind of like historical situations and then she fictionalizes them to the point that you don't know if she's really fictionalized them or not. I think the only one of hers that I have not read is Carrie Soto Is Back, which is about a tennis player that comes out of retirement. So Malibu Rising I loved, which is about kind of like the kids of somebody that would be like Frank Sinatra. I love Malibu Rising. Malibu Rising is a fantastic summer book to read. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is probably one of my all-time favorite books of life. I thought it was fantastically written. The thing about Taylor Jenkins Reid is this, is that every book that you read is not necessarily as good as the last, but on par and different. So like a lot of the Leanne Moriarty books, who I love her too, they're very similar in some ways, and some are better than others. Taylor Jenkins Reid, like every book is so different that it's hard to compare them. So this book was about a female astronaut named Jane, and it takes place in 1984, and it had to do with like the Challenger and things like that, explosion. And I just read this article about the fact that Sally Ride had a partner for 37 years that she never publicly came out about. And then on her deathbed, gave her partner, like, said, you can come out about, like, us being together for 37 years. I knew that it was going to have something to do with that. There's always a romantic element to all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. So when I started it, I knew it was going to be about these 2 women that were in love. I'll have to be honest with you, I was so bored with this book halfway through that I almost DNF'd it. So it's about a group of astronauts that are all like, they don't really say NASA, but they do. But anyway, that they're in training to go up in the space shuttle. And who's going to go up first? And it's a lot about, the importance of this novel is it's a lot about women's role in science and the condescending nature of men and the misogyny that exists in that world. In any world, I think, but in this world specifically for the book. And then this relationship that they have to keep hidden. Okay, I got to the halfway mark and I started really loving this book. By the end of it, my husband and I, we were like, we're sitting in this cabana by the pool and he looked over at me. I was sobbing. I was ugly crying. The ending of it is so good. Somebody commented on my vlog and they said I was walking down the street listening to it and I was ugly crying too. It is so fantastic. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a writer like none other. I mean, the book was fantastically done. I think this one will probably be turned into a TV show because I could see it being a TV show. So I finished that one. Hold on a second. I got out of my, let me get back into my Goodreads list. Okay. Then I read Clown in a Cornfield. And I actually, so this was a book that I was reading, the physical copy book. I finally switched to, I thought it was Adam Cesar, but it's Caesar, because they say in the audiobook. So there's 3 books in the series, A Clown in a Cornfield. And the first one just got made as a movie. Apparently the movie's bad too. I don't know. I really wanted to love this. I love the main character, Quinn. So it's about these kids and they're like influencers in this small town. And they make like YouTube videos and like TikToks and stuff. And they do these pranks. And their pranks go too far. And this like factory's been closed down because of this fire resulting from one of their pranks. And this girl named Quinn moves into town. And her dad is like the new doctor. They don't know why the old doctor quit. And so then like, but the thing is about this is, it's like a slasher horror novel. The horror doesn't start happening until like halfway through the books. I was like, what is going on? Like the characters, I loved hearing about the characters, but there was nothing scary till like halfway through the book. And I just could not get into it anymore. So finally, we were leaving the hotel and I was like, I'm going to listen to this book. So I bought the first 2 books on Audible, which I already have them in physical copy book too. So I finished this last night and I think I ended up giving it, I think I gave it 4 stars because I wanted to, and then I changed it to 3 stars. It was not good. I mean, it was not good. It was not great. I wanted to like it so much. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I wanted to like it so much, but I just couldn't. So I finished that. And then I read Going Home in the Dark by Dean Koontz, which was my second credit that I used for this month. Okay, I don't know what happened to Dean Koontz. I used to love Dean Koontz back in the day. This book was so bizarre to me. It almost was like Dean Koontz is trying to be like Stephen King or something. I didn't really understand it. It's about this group of like 4 friends when they were growing up that call themselves the 4 Amigos, and they're from this small town. And then one of their friends, they're like older now, and they're all super successful. And one of their friends is like in a coma, and he's going to die. So they all go back home to see about their friend. The thing that's so weird about this book, so they remember growing up, and there were like a lot of people. It's a lot of flashback scenes of like when they were younger than now. There were a lot of people in comas when they were growing up, but they don't really remember. So it's them trying to figure out like why these people were in comas when they were growing up. The thing that's so off-putting about this book is that the author, Dean Koontz, okay, or the narrator of the book, speaks right to the reader in second person. I hate when authors do this. And it'll say, you know, it's like very like Bridgerton, like, dear reader. Okay, but it doesn't work. And the narrator is like, the reason why this is happening in the 2nd chapter and not the 6th chapter is because we haven't found out yet that she won an Oscar, blah, blah, blah. And the main character, like this girl, she's like from these movies that are like the Scream movies. It just felt, I don't know, somebody commented on my vlog when I was talking about it, and maybe it was that or another book, I don't know, they said that they think a lot of these people like James Patterson are writing like using like AI and I don't know, whatever. I don't think that, but I don't know who wrote this book, but I'm telling you, Dean Koontz didn't write this book. I mean, it's very obvious. It's really off-putting. If you've read it, and somebody commented on my vlog and they said they really loved it, so I kept going for that. I was like, now I got to find out what happens. I was so disappointed in this book. I think I ended up giving it 1 star, you guys. It was not good. And the narrator is all the way through it, too. I think I gave it 1 star. Yeah, I ended up giving it 1 star. So I finished that last night. And then I started a new cozy mystery series, which is brand new. The new one comes out, I think, the end of this month. And it's called A Very Woodsy Murder by Ellen Byron. She's got other cozy mystery series as well. And it's a Golden Motel mystery. I'm about halfway through. I think the second one, I'll tell you when it comes out. Hold on. This one came out in July 23rd of 2024. The second one comes out at the end of this month, July 29th, 2025, The Solid Gold Murder. So there will be 2 out by the end of this month of the series. It's about this man, this woman, and she is like a screenwriter for television shows. And they used to be married, and she convinces him to buy this like old rustic motel like in Northern California. And then like, so it's about this murder. I don't want to tell you. I am loving this cozy mystery series. It is very summery and it's very cozy. It has eccentric characters. It's in this small town in Northern California. I'm loving it. So it's the Golden Motel Mysteries, and the first one is called A Very Woodsy Murder by Ellen Byron, and she's got several cozy mystery series out, so I'm loving it. But that's everything that I read on vacation. I also started a reread, which is called Back on Tuesday by David Gilmour. It's a book that I read years and years and years ago. So I'm going to carry that over and read that now at home. But 8 books I finished. So it was so fun just to like, I would sit in the pool and I would just have my AirPods on and just like sit there and listen to books all day long. It was so fantastic. So any recommendations I would love. Let me know what you thought about those in the comment section below. If you have other books that you would like me to, or if any of these books you would like me to do a full reaction or review to, I will. I love you guys and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.